Who were the winners and who were the losers of last night's 27-15 victory for the Pittsburgh Steelers? I'm going to be bringing that down here in just a sec, but first, make sure you click that subscribe button. Right now, I'm currently in Minnesota. I attended a wedding last night. I'm going to be heading back to Dallas today, so I will be back in studio tomorrow, but we're going to make do with the resources we have here. No matter what happens, whether I'm on vacation, whether I'm at a wedding, whatever the case may be, I'm committed to getting you guys the best dang Steelers coverage on YouTube, 100% free. So do me a favor, click that subscribe button right now if you want to become an expert on the Pittsburgh Steelers. Now let's get into last night's game. I already gave my takeaways for yesterday's game, my instant reaction. I put that on the channel last night, so if you didn't check that out, I'll put the link to that one in the comments and description of today's video. But for now, let's go into the winners and losers of last night. I haven't been able to watch the All-22 film yet because it hasn't been released, but once that comes out, I might have a couple more names to name over the course of the week. But I have 5 winners and I have 3 losers, actually 4 losers that I'm going to be breaking down today. Let's start with the winners, starting with QB1 Kenny Pickett, who had a really nice performance against the Buccaneers in that one drive, right? Touchdown drive, multiple third and long conversions. Looked really good in that first game. Big question coming into last night was he going to back it up? Was he going to have multiple good possessions in a row and link those together? Ended up doing that. 2 drives for Kenny Pickett, 2 touchdowns. Now, of course, Jaylen Warren on one of those touchdown drives had a 62-yard house call, but nonetheless, you want to see your quarterback lead touchdown drives. Kenny's been on 3 drives this year so far in the preseason, 3 touchdowns. So that's really telling me that he's leading this offense. Kudos to Matt Canada for calling some pretty decent stuff here with that first team offense on the field. And kudos to everyone on that first team offense around Kenny to execute the plan and get the stuff done correctly. So I'm really encouraged with what the first team offense is showing us, and Kenny Pickett is leading the way. Last night in that touchdown pass to Pat Freiermuth from the 25-yard line was a thing of beauty, because not only was it a great pass, not only did he really show off his intellectual knowledge there by targeting a linebacker that was in a robot technique, which means that he's turning his back and he is running as fast as he can. And if you know anything about playing quarterback, if a linebacker has his back turned to the quarterback, all he's covering is the width of his shoulders. So Kenny understood that. He knew that that defender really wasn't in the cards, and he delivered a perfect pass to Pat for a touchdown. But the other part that really made that impressive was he made a check at the line of scrimmage. He audibled to something, he saw something in the defense pre-snap, and then he changed it. So that shows me 2 things. A, the mental processing is absolutely there for Kenny Pickett at this point in his process going into year 2. And then also Matt Canada has in fact given him the tools and the resources here to make changes at the line of scrimmage. The same stuff that he gave Big Ben the freedom to do in his final season in Pittsburgh. Matt Canada's first year as the offensive coordinator, he's now giving to the rookie quarterback. Didn't give either Mitch Trubisky or Kenny the freedom to make audibles, make switches at the line, whatever it may be. Now this year, Kenny seems to be taking ownership of this offense, and that's really good to see. He was a big winner for me. I don't know if we'll even see him on Thursday night against the Atlanta Falcons. If he does play, I don't think he will play much. It seems like right now Mike Tomlin has a very high level of confidence in the second-year quarterback. Now let's move on to my second winner here, which was Jaylen Warren, undrafted free agent last year. Absolutely had a fantastic season for a UDFA, and now he's coming into this year, and he's really showing out once again. You want to talk about second-year leaps when we talk about Kenny Pickett. What about Jaylen Warren, man? A 62-yard touchdown against the starting Bills defense on the first drive of the game yesterday. That definitely would have been a touchdown in a regular season game, at least in my opinion. And Jaylen is showing that he's got that home run ability that we want to see from Najee Harris now. We haven't seen that from Najee through the preseason, through the training camp to this point. And Jaylen has been overall the more impressive running back. Now, does that mean that Najee won't turn it on here as the season approaches? No, absolutely Najee could turn it up here in the coming weeks, and especially when the season gets around here. He's going to be the number one running back to start the season at least, but Jaylen is definitely on his tail, and no matter what, it looks like the Steelers are going to have a very productive running back, even if Najee Harris doesn't end up turning it around here for the 2023 season, and that's a very, very good thing to have. And if Najee turns it up and you still have Jaylen Warren, you got one of the best running back duos in the National Football League, in my opinion. So I think that the run game is in good hands right now. Another big winner, Nick Herbig, of course, another big preseason a game for him. You listen to Mike Tomlin after the game, so he plays with emotion. You can totally see that. It looked like that Nick was ready to play another whole game after that one finished up. He plays the game with so much emotion and intensity, and the physical tools are just so awesome with this kid, right? The bend around the edge. We saw that yesterday with that incredible forced fumble where he's dipping pretty much all the way to the ground, which is something you just almost never see, even with NFL level edge rushers, and this kid can do that. And what makes Nick so great for the specific role that the Steelers are going to be having him in is that you already have your early down guys, your starters, and TJ Watt and Alex Highsmith, but then Herbig is going to be your pass rush specialist on those third and longs, second and longs, those opportunities where you can really pin your ears back and go after quarterbacks. I think that's exactly what Nick Herbig is tailor-made for. He is a little bit smaller, so maybe he's not going to be the best run defender, so he might not really ever be an elite 3-down starter in this league, but I think he will be an elite, a rotational pass rusher even right away, and he's exactly what the Steelers needed after securing TJ Watt and Alex Highsmith to large contracts, and I think he's going to be an incredible rookie here in a rotational role for the black and gold. Another winner, Joey Porter Jr., another obvious one, getting his first interception in his dad's old colors, gave the ball to his dad. A very emotional moment for a lot of Steelers fans, and it's absolutely fantastic to see Joey Porter Jr. Getting an opportunity. He's been on the jugs machine, throughout training camp. He's been the first guy out on the practice field to get that early work in. That's exactly what you want to see from an early draft pick here that you really do believe in. That's what you want to see from your future cornerback one, hopefully for the next decade here. And he had an opportunity to make a pick on a bad throw yesterday. Absolutely took advantage of that, and it was an awesome moment there at Acrisure Stadium. Then number 5, I'm going to go Chandon Sullivan as my 5th winner this week. Elijah Riley, of course, had an interception, also played well this weekend. What else is new? Elijah Riley's been playing great, but Chandon is somebody that's had a little bit more of a quiet camp. He's had some splash plays here and there, but it really has been the Elijah Riley show at training camp to this point. Yesterday, he really showed out, in my opinion. He was good in coverage. He made that incredible interception that is really going to make it tough now for Elijah Riley to really take that starting job, because I think Chandon is doing a good job right now of potentially holding on to that starting slot corner role this season. We'll see how it plays out here for the rest of the preseason, but I really do think that both I would trust either Chandon or Elijah in that starting cornerback role, and I think that they'll both end up making the final 53-man roster. Now, before I get into the losers, do me a favor, if you're enjoying the content here on Steelers Talk, do me a favor, click that thumbs up icon and like today's video. I put in a ton of work. Our team here at Chat Sports put a ton of work with Jeremy and Coop and all these other guys that put in so much work to give you guys daily content for free here on the channel. It'd really mean a lot to us if you click that thumbs up icon. Now let's get to the losers, and I'm going to start with the first round rookie, Broderick Jones. Talked a little bit about him in my takeaways video yesterday, so I won't go into too much detail with Broderick, but yesterday he did look a little bit sloppy to me. He looked like he was doing a lot of two-hand punching, which was something that showed up a lot on his film. And if you know anything about what the Steelers like from their offensive tackles, is that they want to use their hands independently. It really that's the way that most NFL pass protectors try to do it, because with the rip moves and all these different finesse moves that the top edge rushers use in this league, you have to be able to use your hands independently if you want to beat those. And Broderick is somebody that's always been a powerful dude, and even back in college, he could get away with being a two-hand puncher only. But now he really needs to learn how to use those hands, those arms independently if he wants to become that true top flight left tackle in this league. Wasn't really doing that last night, so that's something he needs to work on. And it seems like Dan Moore Jr. is really doing a good job at standing pat there as the starting left tackle for this team. Another person that lost will stick with the offensive tackle position, LaRaven Clark, who definitely did not impress yesterday on the right side. And it's looking like Dylan Cook, undrafted, or not undrafted free agent. They brought him in as kind of a camp filler this year in free agency, but he's really been impressive, and now he's listed as the number 2 right tackle over LaRaven Clark, so that's something to keep in mind. LaRaven is somebody that's getting older, although he's got some experience. I don't think he's as athletic as Dylan Cook is now, and it seems like LaRaven's chances of making the final 53 are getting slimmer by the day. Then also staying on the offensive line, unfortunately here, backup center Kendrick Green looked really bad again. He had another botched snap, and as Mike Tomlin said in his post-game press conference, that's not good enough. It's just not, man. And it's, routine plays routinely. That's what they're expecting from their players. They want guys to be able to make those easy plays and not make mistakes on those easy things, those foundational aspects of the game. And that's what Kendrick's been doing over the last couple of weeks. He had a botched snap last week, a holding call. He was whiffing on backup defensive tackles last week when they're right in front of his face. Those things just can't happen. I've been saying it on Twitter all week. This guy's just not an offensive lineman in the National Football League. He stinks. I think there's pretty much no chance now that he's going to end up making the final 53-man roster. That stinks for Kendrick. We haven't seen him play fullback. He's been working with the running backs and all these different things throughout camp, but it doesn't really seem like they view him as a long-term option at the fullback position. So it's looking to me like Kendrick Green will finally end up getting cut here from the Pittsburgh Steelers. And after a couple of years trying to get this guy right, it's about damn time, in my opinion. And then my final loser, he didn't play last night because of an undisclosed injury. So I hate to call him a loser because he didn't play, but Hakeem Butler is somebody that's definitely moving down the ranks at this point. You bring him in, this big body receiver. You heard some good things coming out of OTAs and minicamp. And, he's had a couple of really nice days. The day that I was there in Latrobe, he made some really nice catches, but there's been way too many days where he's not making the routine plays, where he's dropping passes, he's taking his eyes off of the football, and he's capable of making some really splash, incredible catches, but it's just not reliable enough at this point for Hakeem Butler. Didn't play last night because of an undisclosed injury, and now that he's dealing with an injury, it's like, how much is he really going to have time to kind of make up for the losses that he's had over the last week or so in training camp? I'm not too sure. So, with guys like Cody White, who's been impressive in training camp, with guys like Miles Boykin, who's a special teams ace, with guys like Gunnar Olszewski, who might be valuable to the Steelers as a special teams option. I'm just looking at the chances of Hakeem Butler, who I understand is a fan favorite. I'm just warning you guys right now that he could be a surprise cut candidate for the Steelers this year, and he might not end up making the final 53. It'll be interesting to see if he makes the practice squad this year, however. All right, that's going to be it for me today, guys. Really do appreciate all the support. Again, make sure to click that subscribe button because tomorrow I'll be back in the studio, and we're going to be having a live show on Wednesday and then a live watch party for the Falcons preseason game on Thursday. You're not going to want to miss any of the action this week leading up to cut day, where we're going to have you covered with extensive coverage there. Everything leading up to week 1 for our week 1 watch party versus the San Francisco 49ers. And then, of course, we're going to be covering every game live on the channel this year. So you're really going to want to click that subscribe button for the most comprehensive fan experience for Steelers fans here on the platform. All right, that's going to be it for me today, guys. I will see you guys later. Peace.